Hello, good morning, Top Jason Horn speaking. Hi, yes, I'm doing well. How are you doing? That's great. Yes, I'll be more than glad to help you. Can you hold on a second, please? Okay, yes, I'll be glad to call you back. What's a good number for that? Okay, let me write this down. All right, thank you very much. I'll call you back in 5 minutes. Yes, have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye. Professional phone calls, personal phone calls, two different things. Most people don't even talk on the phone anymore, but if you go to work, you likely will. For example, the phone I was just on, we call it banana phone. If you're a professional, you're likely to have a banana phone and a work cell phone. So we're going to talk today about how to talk on the phone. Manners are important. Hello. How are you doing today? Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Please. Thank you. Hold a minute, please. Can you repeat that, please? All of those things are important, so don't forget your manners when you're talking on the phone. What makes a phone call awkward is dead air. Silence on both ends of the phone. And the other person on the other side of the phone may not have the phone skills that you're getting right now. So how do you get through that? Well, if you notice that there's not a minute, but like a few seconds of dead air, you might say, is there anything else I can help you with? Are there any other questions I can answer for you? How else can I help you? And at that point, they either continue with the phone conversation, or it forces them to say, well, I think that's all I need for now. Likewise, if you're on the other end and you're calling somebody for something and they answer a question and maybe you don't know if they're finished, you say, is there anything else you'd like to add to that? Or can I get more information about whatever this is? You have to lead the phone conversation sometimes to keep it from having awkward silences. Just remember, you're in control if you're into the phone. First situation you will get in a work setting is the oversharer. And that's somebody that calls you and tells you a really long story that has nothing to do with the business you're hoping to conduct with them. This often happens with clients who are lonely, who are irritated or sad about something and just want someone to talk to before they conduct their business. Your time is valuable and you're being paid for it. And so you might feel like, okay, I don't have time for this. So the way that you redirect the conversation is you wait for that person to have a pause in what they're telling you and say, thank you for sharing that with me. How can I help you today? Or, let's say you work at a bank. What questions do you have for First Tennessee Bank? How can First Tennessee Bank help you today? And that will redirect the conversation to business without being rude about it. If it goes on too long, you might have to be a little direct and say, listen, this story is really interesting and I'm sorry you're going through this, or thank you so much for sharing that with me, but really I need to conduct some business here. What can we do for you? But if you can get a pause within the first 30 seconds of the conversation, then you can redirect it to where it needs to go. If you have an angry customer or an upset customer, it's going to be a little bit different than the person telling you a long story you don't want to hear. An angry customer needs to vent, and it's always best to let them vent. And that means they're going to be probably raising their voice. It probably means they might say something that offends you. If you can get through that, then on the other side of it, they're usually calm. So it's best to just sit in silence and let the person vent. If they start using very aggressive language, foul language, and you don't want to hear it, you stop them and say, listen, I know you're upset, but we're not going to be able to come to a resolution right now. I need you to just wait until you've calmed just a little bit and call me back. They're not going to like that, but that's a good way to end the conversation, and they will usually vent to someone else and then call you back. But it's always best if you can just take it and let them get it all out. Then you can solve their problem or help them and come to a good resolution for your company. Last piece of advice, always have like a little notepad or something to make notes on next to your phone. That way when somebody calls, you can write down what their name is. That way you don't forget in the middle of conversation. You have something ready to write down a callback number if you need that. You have something there to take some notes if you need to take some notes. For example, if they're calling you, but you know that a colleague's going to have to call them back, you can hand your colleague those notes. It's just always good to have a little notepad by the phone for those reasons. And do always ask who you're speaking with at the very first of the phone conversation and write their name down. That will help you in so many different situations. Talk to me. What? What do you want? I don't have time to deal with this right now. Call back sometime. And for God's sakes, this is a personal preference. Don't talk on your phone like this, please. Please don't talk on it like this. Like this. Not like this. Like this. Not like this. And do not use your speakerphone in public.